All right, welcome everyone. If you're new to the channel, this is typically how we go. We look at the stock charts, try to determine where things are heading in the future. I continue to point out, what the charts are telling me at this moment in time, and then point out some levels, some key levels that could be important, and individual trade ideas. So here's what we got. We got a rally today. Obviously, we gapped up. So we want to look at the S&P 500 heat map, and pretty broad-based rally. So that is bullish. We don't have a thin rally where we have just like Apple dragging the market higher. It's broad-based. And so that is a check for the bulls. So then we'll look at the charts and see what we got going on. So, all right, here's my level on triple Q. I've been really focusing on tech as really my leading indicator currently. So I'm going to continue with that path until I see something different. Triple Q's here, 275, I had it about 274.90 was the level. 275, somewhere right in there was your level of resistance. And on Friday, you can see that I drew this line out here, but we don't necessarily need that. But on Friday, here's your downtrend that I had. We started to break higher. So basically, we had this down channel. Let me go ahead and clear this one out as well. And we started to break higher. And so, looked like a breakout. I was telling everyone in the video that I went home flat, basically. I, covered all my shorts. And, not all my shorts, but I covered my index shorts and was looking for a better entry to re-short. And so what am I doing now? Well, I took a small long position this morning. We gapped up over that 275, which I saw as resistance. And as we came back down into it, I was looking for some sort of the buyers to step in right there. And so far they have. You can see this hourly candle. So that's pretty bullish. In general, broad-based rally. We have, we're holding support. So what that tells me, and if I look at volume, volume's not crazy good, but so it's not a breakout or anything. But what I'm thinking is, I pointed it out in a couple of videos. I've got 3 levels that are key levels for me, and I think we will sell off at one of those levels. And basically, this is the first level, 275. I saw that as the first level. And back here, when I started to get long, I got long down here looking for a move up to 275, and we didn't quite get there, and then it sold off. Well, then it stopped and started to go, and now we actually did get there. So it did hit that 275 target that I was talking about previously. And as we start to hit these targets on the long side, I'll start to look for, potential rejections or reversals or things like that. So 275 is the first target. The next target I see is up at this 280. It's about 281, which is the top of this recent trading range that we were in. And it looks like that's where we're heading, at least right now. You can see we sold off today, hit support. The buyers are stepping in, and looks like we're going up to 281. So I'm going to watch for that to see how the price action continues on the Qs with the hourly chart. If we get up to 281, that's the level where I'm going to start to get interested in potentially starting another short position. Again, I do want to see some sort of signal that is going to be where it's going to stop. And if it doesn't stop there, then we potentially got a full back test on hand. The back test of this green line. So as I roll out here on the hourly, this is going back to, April basically, but this was your uptrend in triple Qs. You can see the green line as it's just rolling up. And we broke down right here, sold off, but we're kind of basing out, and it looks like it wants to run up and do a back test. So that's the look that I see right now. Perhaps we hit 281, then we pull back to 275 again, chop around a little bit, and then make our back test. But as of right now, kind of looks to me like it wants to do a back test. Now, a full back test from where we're at right here, depending on when we get there, 7, 8%, 9%, something like that, depending on when we actually get there. A full back test would definitely be the key area that I'm going to be reinitiating a full short position. and that is the objective area to get short. But I don't know if the market's going to give me that area, so we'll have to see. They might run up to this 281, overshoot it a little bit, and then fail. That's possible. So we'll watch that because everybody sees the back test. So if everybody's looking at it, I don't think we're going to get there. But if we do, great area to establish a short. Let's look at the SPY here. SPY, you've got this downtrend right here. We broke out to the upside, and so far we're holding. So to me, that tells me we're going to go up to this 339 level, and we'll see kind of how that trades once we get up there. So in the short term, that's where I think we're heading. And again, we had these bullish divergences in the PPO and the RSI, in the Qs and the SPY. So they were telling us when we were down here that there's a high probability that there's going to be some sort of a rally. And down here, and that's why I got long basically down here. I thought, made the gains on this rally here. I thought we were going to get to 275. We didn't. When we started to roll over, I covered my long position and got short again. We came down. But then when we started to recover here, I closed my short out. And so took a little bit of loss on that recent short, but made it up for the long. But now I think it looks like we want to head up. The only thing that's weird to me, though, is volatility. We're seeing volatility not really sell off. That people are buying volatility is what I'm seeing. It's, there's a little bit of selling, but in general, this isn't the kind of sell-off in something like UVXY that you would think you'd see if the market is going to rally strong. So I'm seeing more, I'm seeing people buy volatility even though the market is up. And if you look at CNBC, you can see the VIX is actually up and the markets are up. So this rally that's interesting. That means people are buying put protection. They think they think this rally is short-lived potentially. So I'm watching for that, and that's what tells me maybe 280, a little overshoot of 280 might be about it in the Qs. So we'll watch that. Gold. All right, gold's getting a little bit of a bid today, up about $20. I still don't see anything technically that is... This just, to me, looks like a bear flag. So we've got the flagpole here. And we're looking at the daily chart, but you're making this flag action here. Maybe it ends, right in there. You're going to flag out, and then eventually you're going to break down and hit that 1790. So I still see that 1790 as a very probable target. And that's where I'm going to be most likely interested in going long gold. Someone asked how I go long gold. I buy the miners. So Barrick Gold has been one of my favorites, and that's probably one where I'll look to go to. Agnico Eagle, AEM has been a decent play. We just got to find good entries, and I'm looking to see gold sell off some more, shake some more people out, and then start to build a support down at cheaper prices. Here's silver bouncing. It looks like it did bounce off this support. I still think silver's got another leg down. Whether it goes up a little more and then down, I don't know. But I still think we're going to fill some of these gaps right here. We got gaps right down here at 1984 and 1861. So I think these gaps, probably this 1861 gap's going to get filled. We're going to get some more selling in the precious metals, flush out some of those longs, and then build some support from down here. And to me, this just looks like a flagpole. You've got the bear flag pole there. You're flagging. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong tool. You're flagging here. And a break of the flag. We'll just mark, depending on how this really starts to flag out. And a break of the flag, puts us down in that area. So I think that's what's going to happen. And that's how I'm looking to trade that one. This is a possible trade idea. I might take another short on this one, PAAS. So we had support right here, and you can see on the hourly chart we tagged it several times and held, but then it broke, and you had a big gap down and an impulsive sell-off right to my first profit target right there. So I took profit on that one, and now we are getting the bounce or reaction off of that level. So that's a lot of short sellers that were taking profit, buying to cover. Like myself, and that creates a near-term floor, in the selling, and so you get the you get a rally. Now we're rallying right back up to resistance 32.50, so that's an objective area to short basically, and looking for then a move down to the next target, which is really the big move. If we start to sell off here and break, my next target's all the way down here at this 26 thing, and that's about 20% down. And that would probably, for me, that's the end of this trade. I don't think we go much lower. I don't have a lot of confidence that we go much beyond that. So that would really be the end of this trade once or if we get down there. So I'm looking at potentially reestablishing the short position up here at this 32.48. So just a couple, 30 cents more, get a little closer, and I'll start to look at that. ULV, we'll look at these sectors. ULV is the second largest sector in the S&P 500 besides tech. And we are getting a little bit of a rally today. So, to me, it looks like we hit the objective target. This is a completely logical trade pattern that we're seeing right here. So here's what we saw. We had the breakdown right here, which was a bear flag pull. We created a bear flag. We broke the bear flag with the continuation, which is a measured target down to about 101.29. We hit 101, undercut it slightly, but basically right in that area. And so that's the objective area that that flag would play out to. So it hit perfectly, and now you're getting a bounce reaction. So we could easily trade up to the top of the flag, maybe up here around 105. 105.20. We're not too far off. So tomorrow they could open it maybe right around that level and then sell off, or this might just be the end of the bounce. But to see this bounce here is very logical. So I think we start to get rejected up in this area, work our way lower. Eventually we're going to break this 101 and head down to 97. That is what I see on that one. XLF rallying today, but nothing technically is changing. It's just, we've still broken the uptrend. Here's XLF. Here's your uptrend right here. Reactions along that. We broke, we backtested, we failed, and now we're just getting a counter trend bounce. To me, this looks exactly like a bear market or a bear market rally in this XLF. We're bouncing up to resistance. You can see we have some resistance. We're kind of at resistance right now at 24, and then we've got this gap up here at 24.68. So I think if you gap fill, that would make a lot of sense and get rejected there. Obviously, you can always come in for a full back test as well. That's completely possible way up here at 20, about 27, 27.50 whenever we get there. But, I think 24.50, right around that level, we probably will get rejected. And this, I think, is where most of the rallies coming from is tech. But you can see here, so we have an uptrend line here on XLK. There's your uptrend line. And let me go ahead and get rid of that one. And we broke that trend here. Here's a back test right there. We didn't do a full back test. It fell a little short. Started to sell off, but created kind of a bullish falling wedge pattern. Not so much on this one, but started to flag. Now we broke to the upside here, and we're holding. So that's a breakout. To me, that sets us up in motion to, really to probably do a back test, but I don't know if it'll fully get there. You've got this big breakdown candle right here and a gap. And so the gap's probably not relevant because we've already filled the gap, but you got the big breakdown candle. So a rally up to maybe 119, 120 could be all that there is in the cards, or it could do the full back test. The bigger picture I'm trying to point out is just because it's going to, could rally higher and do a back test, this is still bearish in the longer term because the uptrend was broken. So there's always going to be counter trend rallies, but your uptrend here was broken. So now your trend is down and you have a counter trend rally, and then you continue the downtrend. There's always these counter trend rallies in the bigger trend. So I see the trend is still being broken. This is not a continuation of this uptrend. Most likely it's going to be a back test and then a failure. Take a look at Apple here real quick. So Apple, you can see same picture as tech. We've broken out. Looks like it's going to try to do some sort of a backtest action. But here's the bigger picture I'm trying to make, and it's pretty clear to me, at least on Apple. If I can grab this trend line here. This trend line, I've got it marked out. Let me make it a little smaller. I've got the trend line marked out about here. I like this fit. It's got a lot of reactions. But even if you wanted to rotate this down to give it a benefit of the doubt trend line, which would maybe be down here, then this would just be, we're still broke. The trend's still broken. And even if you went all the way down to here and said, okay, this one data point, and then maybe this doesn't quite count, but we've got this, there's two, we're still pretty much broken. Yeah, I mean, there was a little gap up and possibly a false breakdown, but again, that's only 2 data points, so it's not the cleanest reaction. The best that I can make is right here, and so I think we're going to do, could do a full backtest of the trend line, but again, I see this as just being a backtest of a broken trend, and that's how I'm going to trade it. So I'm looking at, unless things change, I'm looking at not being long for very long. In the short term, it looks like there's some more upside, a little bit of a relief rally, but medium to long term, I see this as a broken trend, and I think we're going to work our way lower. Okay, DraftKings, this is right at the area where I was looking at shorting, and not quite there, maybe a little bit more. Maybe we'll get there here sometime today, up around this. It's so far up there, it's up around $60. $2 more to go, which this thing runs, it can run huge, so can easily get there today. But what am I seeing? Well, here's your hourly chart. So there's a little bit of cross currents here because we are flagging. I mean, we had this bull flag pull, then we created this big bull flag, and now we're starting to break out to the upside, which is a continuation of this bull flag pattern. And the measured target puts this thing way up here, a lot higher. So that's completely possible. But in the short term, I see a broken trend. So here's your hourly chart, and here's your uptrend right there. We broke, and this is coming in for a back test of that. So I'm going to probably take a shot at this to the short side on a back test of this trend line and look for this to break down. Targets, well, this is a logical target right here at about 40, we'll call it 44. And, so we'll probably just look at that one for now. And from here down to there, that's a 25% drop. And so I see that as a potential. So that's probably how I'm going to trade this one. And that's a trade idea. It's just my opinion, but want to look at that. Oh, and then also if you can see here, divergence. The RSI is starting to turn down right there, and the PPO is still pointed up, but still a lower peak here and a higher price. So price made a higher, moved up higher beyond the previous peak. Here's your previous peak right there in the PPO, and your price was here, and we're diverging as this is making a lower high here, and the price is a higher high. So it's a divergent high. So it's a negative divergence. And you're coming into resistance. So that's what you look for. Looks good to me. Tesla, and then I got 2 more, and then I'll wrap it up. Tesla here. All right, Tesla gapped up, and we've recovered the trend line that I have marked out. And here it is right here. We've recovered the trend line. So Tesla might want to make another leg higher. I'm not, I don't know yet. I'm going to stay short on this one for the, today, and we'll see how this how this plays out tomorrow or maybe this week. But there's still negative divergence in play. Big negative divergences are in play on the RSI. Really the negative divergence really was intact right here, and we're still continuing that negative divergence. So, to me, I think this is going to break the trend line. Maybe my trend line's slightly off. If I mark it out, it's not that I've never loved the trend line that I have. It's just the best I could do. I've got a data point here on the daily. I've got a reaction here, and then a couple reactions right in here. So, as of right now, this looks like a bear trap. And so we'll see if there's continuation tomorrow to the upside. It probably was a bear trap, and we'll probably have to cut and run on this one. But I'm gonna give it one more day and just see how this thing plays out. Pulte Homes, here's an uptrend. We broke right here. We're doing some back testing right there. So that looks like a good area to establish a short there on Pulte. We do have negative divergence right here. There it is. So looks good to me on that one. XOM. So I'm long this one, and here's what I like about it. We have a down channel right here. We broke to the upside before, and it was a fake out, and it sold off again. But we've now broken to the upside again. So usually you don't have two fake outs, two bull traps. Usually you can get one, but usually when you're back in that area for the second time with another breakout, it's the real deal. So I'm going to take this to the long side, looking for XOM to move up and backtest 41. And I'll step in a little bit early and sell, but right around there, 41 looks good to me. And we do have bullish divergence on the daily chart too. You can see here, just barely made it. Marking this out right there. Slightly higher low, and the price made a lower low. So the price was going lower, the price was moving down, and the momentum indicators were staying even to moving up, basically. These are diverging from price. That's what you look for, is a divergence in the momentum from the price, and that gives you an indication that a reversal is likely. And then we did get the breakout, so then you look for breakouts of major resistance, and that's your entries. And so that's how that is going to work out. Philip Morris, same deal here. A couple things on this one. This is going to be the last one in this video, but Philip Morris, downtrend channel right here on daily and the weekly. We broke out to the upside. It was a bull trap, big sell-off, broke out again, coming down, tagging support, which is this downward red line right here. We tagged it right there, and if you look at the hourly, also had a bullish falling wedge on the hourly. So that was telling me that, okay, we've got bullish falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. We're coming into major support, which is that big long-term down channel that we've broken out of. And we also have nice positive divergence, here that's been in place for a while, telling me that the momentum is picking up speed and indicating a reversal is likely. Here's your breakout. You broke. So next level to break I see is 77.33. Break above that, and that sets us in motion to the upside. Where's this going? Well, I think a logical target is up here at $90. And from where we're at up to there, it's about a 15-16% gain. So that's that trade idea. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for following along. Leave me a thumbs up if you're finding some value in the content. Leave a comment below if you have a stock you want me to look at, or if you see a trade setup that you're looking at that you think I'd be interested in. So thank you. Catch you guys on the next one.